Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm in the desert just outside of Tucson, Arizona, and I traveled out here to come visit the guys at TheTargetMan.com. TheTargetMan.com manufactures targets, like you see over my shoulder here, and they also manufacture a number of different body armor products. We came out here to tour their facilities and chat with them about those products. So let's get started with a little bit of shooting. Well guys, we're sitting out here in the desert and I have collectively the TargetMan and Spartan armor. And behind us we have some TargetMan targets, and here on the table we have some Spartan armor, and we want to talk about each of the products and talk about the company a little bit. Now Jeremy over here, this is the original TargetMan, and these guys here are part of the company as well, and they each perform different roles. So Jeremy, let's start off with you. What's your role in the company, and how did it all get started and that good stuff?
Sure, yeah, I started out the company about 4 years ago. It actually started out in my garage. Not many people know that, and we've advanced quite a bit. We started off doing steel shooting targets. That's how I originally got my start, and we just continued to evolve, and we started doing some AR500 body armor, got into some more, exactly as AR500 armor, got into some more complex armor platforms, some polyethylene, ceramic, real lightweight, real state-of-the-art type materials. And never in my wildest dreams that I think this was going to happen. It just continued to evolve, and here we are 4 years later.
So you guys have recently moved into new space, and
Yeah.
so you're increasing your operations to meet the demand.
We have.
What's your backlog right now? I mean, how long does it take? If somebody places an order right now for some armor, some targets, about how long does it take to ship?
Depending on the product, usually our AR500 and AR550 armor were about 3 weeks. Our move is real strategic based. We combine shops with our coders, and these guys over here, we combine the shop, and the purpose of that was to really streamline our manufacturing process. It's a lot quicker, no more logistical challenges. Everything from start to finish is now done in-house.
So everything's all under one roof now, right? So before it was kind of distributed. You guys have come together, got a lot more space. You have all your tools and manufacturing.
Absolutely.
Application, and we'll get into that here in a little bit. The improvements that have been made to the AR500 and 550 steel plates over the years. You guys kind of have led the charge in a lot of that. We'll talk about that as well. So you guys are growing. The lead times are coming down. Is that true? That's one of the benefits to the new move?
We're hoping. So with the benefits of the move, yeah, absolutely. Lead times are going down. We're streamlining manufacturing. Our quality assurance, quality control has it's definitely advanced due to the combination of the shops here. Mm-hmm. And that's the idea, to get it out faster, less lead times, and customers will have their product a lot quicker.
And Todd, that's where you kind of come in. You're heading up sales and support.
Exactly. I mean, my goal is to get that lead time down to almost nothing. I mean, our goal is going to be you get that order, we pull it off the shelf, and it's shipping that day. I mean, that would be the ultimate goal of why Jeremy's brought me in to do that. My background is in logistics and shipping, and so we're hoping to do that for the retail consumer, and then eventually our dealer network, expand that a little bit, and work on getting them product wholesale, freighting it to them, and getting them product for their customers.
Outstanding. And this is, again, relatively a new development, so you guys are growing very quickly and meeting that demand. I mean, I was watching the shipping operations. You guys are pumping packages out every day, man, like a big stack of stuff going out the door every single day, and exactly. And you're just trying to bring those lead times down. And let's also introduce Kevin here. Kevin, you kind of lead up the technology and the application side of the armor business. Let's talk a little bit about what this is that we see on the outside of this steel plate. In the early days, when the 500 plates were being used as body armor, I remember seeing armor that was uncoated. It was just straight up AR500 steel.
That's correct.
And very quickly people realized that spalling was a concern.
That's right.
And if you guys don't know what spalling is, when a bullet hits steel, the bullet will basically turn into liquid for a moment and shoot off in all different directions from the steel as metal shards. They'll very, very quickly solidify and basically go off in all different directions as sharp little pieces. So the coating that has been developed actually captures all that spalling. So the bullet hits the plate, absorbs the energy, but there's a lot more than just capturing that spalling of those pieces. It's also you've worked to make sure that that coating stays in place. So when you hit something as hard as steel, you don't just blow that covering off, and now the second round that hits, you have to worry about spalling again. You guys have come up with a process and chemical composition that actually can withstand several hits before.
That's correct. We tried lots and lots of different formulations to settle upon what we found works the best. And it actually different levels of adhesion, different kinds of primers, and we've come up with what we think is the optimum out there in the market right now.
Right.
And it took months and months of research and physical testing. Jeremy, we'd come up with plates, and Jeremy would go out and test them, and we settled on definitely the optimum.
That's really good to hear. And one other thing I wanted to point out as well is we're taking a look at the triple curve, if that's the correct product name,
right.
which is something that you guys are doing exclusively, and which basically allows this plate to form more like a ceramic plate or a polyurethane plate to the body. It makes it much more comfortable, offers better protection.
Absolutely.
And that's something you guys are doing, right?
Yeah, so right now I have a patent pending on the whole process. We manufactured, custom machine tool grade dies, and we developed a triple curve on the plate. It's something that nobody else in the industry is doing, and our process is proprietary. We should have a full-blown patent at some point next year, and yeah, it's really unique to us. And the benefit of it, this is much more ergonomic plate. You look at a traditional chest plate with a nice, traditional curvature. You have some stick out towards the chin area, towards your belly button area, and what this plate does is just better hugs your body.
Yeah.
So if you are going to move your head down as you just did,
You can do so comfortably.
right, you're not going to bump your chin into the plate, and that's
Right.
a traditional problem with a regular curved plate. So we came up with that. Nobody can do what we're doing with steel right now. We developed expensive computerized controlled machines, and that's what we do. We form these bands. They're consistent, accurate each time.
And patent pending, so don't try to
right.
copy it. So let's talk a little bit about some of the other products you guys offer. Now, of course, the AR500 and AR550 steel plates are a popular item, and we'll talk about what the benefits to the steel is versus Kevlar and polyurethane and stuff like that. But here's one of my favorite plates, and you know
Right.
that. Now this thing is paper thin, super lightweight, but will stop every handgun caliber out there pretty much that's in common use.
357 44 Magnum.
Right, and even a little .22 long rifle, which is a really hard bullet
It
to
will.
stop, it'll stop it.
It does.
And we're going to be doing some testing actually here real soon, guys. This one is an improved pistol threat target. What's the exact
It's called special pistol threat.
special pistol threat?
Yeah, special pistol threat validated.
Say that 10 times really fast.
I know, I can't say it. I can't say it once here. But yeah, super lightweight plate. This plate is made out of what's called ultra high molecular weight polyethylene. Quite the tongue twister, but UHM WPE. And again, super lightweight, nice and rigid. As you can hear, it's a hard plate. Doesn't bend. It already has a nice contour. Again, it kind of mimics our triple curve plate.
Right.
And it just really hugs your body nicely. Weighs next to nothing. If you're a police
weight.
officer, if you're a police officer and you were, God forbid, to die in the line of duty, most likely, statistically, it's because of a pistol threat. And that's why we developed these plates. And yeah, real lightweight, real comfortable, ergonomic. You don't even know you're wearing it. So
Yeah, you put this in a plate carrier, especially one of the streamlined carriers I saw at your shop.
Right.
You put that on, you can actually hide it under a t-shirt for the most part.
Can't see it.
And you can't see it, but you have the protection of pretty much every pistol caliber out there. And we're going to find out here really soon how it fares against the 5.7.
Right.
We should, what you're telling me is it should stop the 5.7, where 5.7 will zip through 2A body armor. With
Right.
these, as I've demonstrated before, these bad boys should actually stop it. Well, again, we'll find that out here really, really soon. But some of the other stuff that you have is you have threat level 4 plate armor.
Yep.
And this is more conventional type armor technology. It's fairly heavy, right around 7 pounds, you say?
7.2 pounds of plate.
But it's padded on the outside.
Right.
Again, it has that curvature. It's a little bit heavier, but this thing can stop, what, 30-06 AP?
AP. That's right.
Our good friends over at Iraq Veteran 8888 actually did some testing with these plates. And how many rounds of 30-06 AP did it stop? I mean, he got kind of tired pulling the trigger.
Yeah, so per the standard, NIJ actually calls for just one defeat of 30-06 M2 AP. Eric and Chad, they did the testing. They defeated 4 shots of 30-06 M2. Then he followed it up with 30 shots of 193 and then 30 shots of 855.
And it stopped all of them?
No, towards the end, some of the 855 went through, but you're talking some astronomical abuse.
Yeah, that's just way past what the certification level is. I mean,
Right.
that's incredible.
Right.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. So if you guys are looking for the maximum protection, take a look at this. But something else I thought was really cool are these new high-end, and you say the name because I'll screw it up.
Ultra high molecular weight polyethylene, UHM WPE.
We'll just call it the lightweight plate.
That-
Because I'll never be able to
Much
repeat
better.
that for as long as I live, no matter how much I rehearse it. Congrats to you.
Thank you.
This thing looks like it's about the same thickness. Actually, looks like a little bit thicker, so it looks like it would be heavier. Well, this thing weighs 7 pounds. What's this bad boy weigh?
2.95.
Guys, look at this. I mean, you can drop this on your toe, and it's not going to hurt you. You know, it's like, I got it all dirty there.
That's right. Neutrally
But,
buoyant. Neutrally buoyant.
and it
Defeats
floats.
308.
Right. So if you operate around, in a maritime condition, if you're, like me, I live next to the Great Lakes, you find yourself on a boat and you want to wear armor, you definitely want one of these versus one of these if you fall in the water. Here you're going to the bottom.
Exactly.
Here it's neutral. It's not gonna make you really float, but it's not gonna take you to the bottom either.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's really cool. And again, what's the threat level on this? This is 3.
This is level 3. So per the definition or per the standard, it will defeat at minimum 6 shots of 308 M80 ball.
So that's pretty impressive. It sounds hard. It is hard. It's not flexible, but it's silly lightweight.
Extremely
Very
lightweight.
cool product. Now you guys also offer some of the side plates, and here's an example of one of the side plates. Now, is this the same composite as
Yeah, this
lightweight plate?
this is a polyethylene plate. Yep,
polyethylene? I can say that.
Yeah, UHMWP, polyethylene for short. Yeah, this is a 6x6 side plate. They all have a minor curve on them.
So go right here.
Exactly,
On
goes
your arm.
underneath your arm. Most people, we have 6x6 and 6x8 side plates. Regardless of the size, most people tend to get a 6x6 because the side plates, they become intrusive. You only lose 2 inches of protection, and it's a far more comfortable plate. I highly recommend a 6x6 unless you're extremely tall, like Tim, maybe.
I make everything look tiny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I only have pasty white legs. I'm a Yeti, and I have stupidly long arms and big hands. I mean, it's just I can't help. It's horrible being me. But anyway,
Yeah, all of our threat levels, we have a side plate for them. Each and every one of the plates that you just showcased, we have side plates for.
so let's quickly talk about what the benefits are to each of these plates. And we briefly touched upon the buoyancy or neutral buoyancy on this one, the threat level protection of this one. Let's say I think probably the most common question would be, do I choose a steel plate or do I choose a polyurethane or do I choose a ceramic plate?
Sure.
What are the benefits to each? Now, I know from my experiences that the steel plates offer affordability.
They're definitely affordable. As far as the ballistic resistance goes, you cannot beat steel.
Right.
The only downside to steel is that they're a little bit heavier.
It's heavy.
But we've done other things to help offset that weight. The triple curve plate.
Right.
I'd rather wear a plate that's a pound or two heavier than a level 4 plate that offers a lot more comfort to the operator.
These things are about a half-inch thick.
Yeah,
Half
a
of
lot.
that's the material that's using to control the spalling.
Right. The plate itself is a 1/4 inch, and we apply
inch.
about 300 mils of the coating on there.
Another 1/4 inch. Yeah.
So ballpark 1/4 inch. So you're looking at a real low profile plate, 1/2 inch in total thickness. Again, extremely affordable, very comfortable with the triple curve. And you can literally drop it off an airplane and put it on and wear it. I mean,
Right.
it hasn't been compromised.
And that's what's really cool about it. So if you guys are preppers and you're looking for something to store that you don't really go out and train every weekend, where something lightweight like this might make more sense, but you're like me, you put armor away for the family in case the lights go out. I'm not actively wearing this type of armor, but I want to have it just in case. This is a good alternative. It's affordable. It
Absolutely.
stores forever. It's coated. The steel underneath is never going to corrode. Unless you store this thing in a saltwater filled bucket, it's not going to degrade.
Even
Now,
so, it's encapsulated, exactly.
right.
Still won't.
Yeah, it probably won't. I mean, you would know better than anybody.
Yeah, right.
But so it's a really good alternative there, and you guys sell a lot of this stuff. I mean, this is probably your most popular product. Am I making something up there?
Right, the 550 is, we sell a lot of the AR500, but the 550, is marginally more expensive, minimally, and it offers a lot more protection. Eric and Chad, we defeated 193 and 855 out of a 20-inch barrel at 10 feet. So
And in
it's
case
a
you guys don't-
3+ plate.
5.56, especially M855, is one of the hardest rounds for armor to stop.
Right.
It does more damage to steel than even a 308 or even a 30-06 standard
Exactly.
ball, not an AP. But so it's a very hard round to stop, and the fact that it can take 10, from 10 feet, take so many rounds out of a 20-inch barrel. You're talking about a bullet that's doing 3,200 feet per
33,
second.
the 193 is going 3,300.
Yeah, the lighter bullet's going 3,300 almost, or at 3,300. So that's a very hard bullet to stop, and that's the other benefit to steel. If you take a hit and you're in a lights out situation, you don't have to worry about your armor being compromised.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, these will take multiple hits, but they won't take as many hits in theory as the steel will. This indefinitely could, you could use it as armor multiple hits. Now, I will say if you're standing out there and you get hit 10 times, you're probably doing something wrong, but that's another discussion, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So, what's the cost on average of not just the triple curve, but just one of your standard contours? You have another product that curves, not the triple curve, just a
Right,
standard
single
curve,
curve,
and then you have
yeah.
flat plates.
So we do sell them single, but the bare bones minimum to get started with a curved front and back plate set. We have a base coat and a full coat. Base coat offers no fragmentation mitigation properties. It's just purely for aesthetics, make it look nice and pretty. The base coat plates, you can get a pair front and back for about $124.
Okay.
That's front and back, and that's to your door. Everything that we do sell includes shipping. You get into your triple curve level 3 plus plate, front and back, 10 by 12. You're about I'm going off memory here, about $270 for the pair to your door. So they're very, very affordable, and that's one of the reasons why they're so popular.
I would recommend getting the full
The
coating.
full, absolutely,
Because it really, guys, you want to, saving money is secondary to protecting yourself from that spalling, I would say. So I would definitely get the coated plates.
We have an LMT308. We're going to shoot some M80 balls, ZQI ammunition. AR550, level 3 plus steel plate, Condor plate carrier, 20 shots. Wow. Destroyed the coating over time. See how our plate held up. No holes in the mannequin. Ton of frag just flew out. Plate carrier got beat up. I mean, 20 shots is pretty excessive. It's warm in here. Wow, look at all that. Ready? Fall jacket. Like the backside of that plate.
And so when we get over into the threat level 4 and the polyurethane products, I mean, I assume that I'm making an assumption here, but the polyurethane is going to cost more than the threat level 4?
It does. The polyurethane plates, we only sell them as a pair right now. They're $6.89 for the pair to your door. They do have some benefits, and they do have, such not as good features as our AR550 plate. The benefit to them, as you already mentioned, super lightweight, 2.95 pounds of plate. You're in a maritime situation, you go in the water, you're not going to the floor, you're not going to the bottom of the ocean.
Right.
The downside to them, it's a level 3 plate. So level 3 will defeat, your 308 M80 ball. You get into the higher velocity stuff, the 193, we've had it stop and we've had it zip right through. The 855 generally gets stopped a little bit slower. And also, it has a shelf life. It doesn't mean it goes bad, but these are all NIJ certified, not just compliant, but they are NIJ certified.
Right.
And when you go through NIJ certification, they do require a 5-year shelf life. Do 6 shots, M80 balls, ZQI ammunition. We have a level 3 polyethylene UHM WPE plate in there. We'll try to space it out as equally as we can. And let's have at it. we flip the carrier around. I try to space it out as best as I can. 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Shot placement is pretty good. Let's see how it fared. Oh, I don't want the plate. Let's see the mannequin. Yeah, this plate carrier is still torn up. As you can see, the mannequin has some pretty good trauma. This is where you definitely want to wear a trauma pad. These polyethylene plates have super good ballistic resistance, still within the spec for back face deformation. They don't hold up nearly as well as a steel plate in that regard.
And warranties? 5-year I see on the ceramic plates,
Yeah.
and what about the steel
The
plates?
steel plate, we offer a 10-year warranty on the coating. You know, we've been doing this again for about 4 years, never had a warranty issue. I take that back. We had one warranty issue, and it's because there's moisture on the plate when it got sprayed, and we covered it. You know, we stand behind everything that we sell. But they don't go bad. You know, we sold tens of thousands of plates. One single plate has ever come back.
Okay, well that's good to know.
Yeah.
All right, and then also real quickly, we have some of the Target products back here. We spent a lot of time talking about the armor products, but this is kind of where you got your start, right?
That's it. And we forgot to put the paddles in there. I just noticed.
We'll show you some video of what the paddles look like in there. But they're swingers, so you can hit the center here. Over on this target, you can actually hit the head or the center of mass, and the swinger will pop out, and you can shoot it back and forth. You don't have to physically reset it. Then we have a tree here. But what's really nice about these targets is they break down very easily. You can take them out to the field. They break down. The legs come off, the base come off, and the core here just pops out. It all just slides together,
right.
And you have a rock solid target. But also, you don't have, like some target guys use chains or use 2x4s. Basically, you call them consumables because they get torn up and basically you have to replace them. These, on the other hand,
You'll never get stranded at the range.
right?
You know, I broke hardware, I broke carriage bolts, I broke chains, and you're at the range. If you don't have a spare, you're done. These are engineered. They're, you know, again, there's nothing, no tools required. It can be collapsible. It is collapsible. It can be stored in the trunk of a car, a small sedan.
That's what I found really useful. I mean, you guys know I drive a Jeep. I don't have a whole lot of storage space in a Jeep.
Right.
I have to be very conscious of space requirements, and these little guys break down, store flat. I can get 10 of them into my Jeep and still have my guns and still have my toolbox and all that other stuff. One of the discussions I see on the internet right now is a discussion about AR650 steel as being used for body armor. Can you talk about some of the properties of AR650 and what is it?
Sure. So there's different grades: AR650, AR550, AR500. AR stands for abrasion resistant. One of the properties of the steel. 650 and all the other numbers are the hardness of the steel on the Burnell hardness scale. So you get into 650, the higher the number, the higher the hardness. When you get into a really hard graded steel, it becomes brittle. This is a piece of AR650. We use this in our normal dies that we use to manufacture our armor. Snapped like a piece of glass. Just snapped right in half. Extremely brittle with the added hardness. A flat plate you can get away with. It does have a little bit more ballistic resistance, but you're kind of you're gambling a little bit when you're bending such a high hardness plate. We have been able to bend them without snapping them in half. The plates that didn't snap in half, they have micro stress fractures all over the place.
So you wouldn't use it if you tried to bend it at all. It would be probably unsafe.
I would never bend it for body armor applications.
Okay.
Too hard, you're playing with fire here.
So, and if you use this as body armor as a flat plate, because it's so hard and so brittle, if you hit it with a heavy caliber, the potential is there for it to shatter like glass.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Exactly. We have 550 plates, again, 10% harder than 500. So it's marginally higher in hardness, and it performs exceptionally well. We have had a plate crack. I'm not going to deny that. It takes a lot of abuse to crack a 550, not so much to crack a 650.
We're talking about a lot of abuse. You're talking about like within 50 yards with a 338 Lapua.
Exactly.
So-
Buffman did that test, and that's exactly what happened.
So if you ever happen to find yourself 50 yards away from a 338 Lapua,
Yeah, more things to worry about than your plate
exactly.
cracking.
If you're wearing conventional armor, it's going to punch right through. At least the steel plate, it slowed it down quite a bit, and it took multiple hits before it actually failed, right?
Exactly.
That distance. So
Exactly. So that's why, in short, that's why we don't use AR650.
don't use AR650. Well, Todd, that was an interesting demonstration of the capabilities of the two different types of armor plate. The polyethylene plate that we have here, which is super lightweight, took 6 rounds per its rating.
It held up great, and again, it's only 2.8 pounds, and that's one thing that we like about it. A little higher price point, but took 6 rounds, it spread out all over the place.
No penetration.
No penetration, little back base deformation. Again, we sell trauma pads, so if you get the trauma pad, that'll help with some of the the blunt force trauma that you may incur by wearing
I mean,
this.
here's the key to wearing a light armor like this. There's a trade-off because we saw much less deformation on the backside of the steel after taking 20 rounds.
Exactly.
So the trade-off here is super lightweight. You can run up and down hills. You're not going to be carrying around 20 pounds of armor.
Right.
The downside is if you take a round, you're going to have a broken rib if you don't have something on the backside
Right.
to protect yourself, but you're going to live to tell the story.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then we also did 20 rounds into the steel plate.
Yep.
And right around, what, 16, 17 rounds, we started to see the smoke coming off.
Exactly. Yeah. This is our 550 plate, so a little, you know, harder than the 500 plate. And again, around 16, 17, you know, we saw a little smoke coming out, which we felt that the fragmentation was kind of falling apart, which you're showing right now. So just remember, this is only meant to take about, you know, 6 shots NIJ.
Right. If you're standing there and you get hit 20 times, chances are you're facing a firing squad, and at that point you're just trying to run them out of ammo, right?
Right.
So-
Exactly. Exactly. You got
one of
bigger problems if you're in front of that 20 times. So.
Well, thanks for having me out. It's been a real pleasure being able to see the operations, do a little bit of shooting with you guys.
We appreciate it.
If you guys have any questions about anything you've seen this video, you can first of all swing by TheTargetMan.com, check out their website. I will put a link in the description below. Also, you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/military arms. Also, if you haven't already, please swing by and check out Copper Custom. If you want to support the Military Arms channel, it's the best possible way. A lot of great products at great prices. And please check out full30.com. That's full30.com. It's where all the web's best firearms content creators get together and post their videos. Again, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll talk to you guys soon. Todd,
Thank you,
it
Tim.
was a pleasure.
Thank you.